I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together.
Let's talk about good girl conditioning, and hopefully it will help you to understand where things are going wrong with you and why you're not getting the results that you want or the outcome that you want. Because when we talk about being underfucked, being crusty, all of that stuff, we in the Pleasure Collective lovingly welcome you into our arms. We're like, come here, crusty darling, person that has not been fucked properly for maybe years. We see you, we get it, now let's fucking do the work together. So good girls. Who puts their needs last and does things for everyone else first? Now, this conditioning starts when we are young, when we're little girls, before we have the frontal lobe development to know the difference. We don't have a filter, but we're conditioned this way from being little girls, okay? When we're go hug your scary uncle that you've never met before. Go clean your room. You're playing, you're having a great time, go clean your room. Help your brother with his homework. Get a straight A on every test. Help clean the kitchen while your brother plays video games. Or maybe now, so that little girl is now us as a wife, mother, partner. And now we're doing all of this work. The invisible workload, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but we are doing the work for everyone else. And it is so sad that this cultural conditioning is so ingrained that it's almost invisible, that we support everyone around us, but no one is there to support us. And then when we get crusty, we get resentful, we don't know what to do or how to ask for help, we're shamed, or we're by the time the resentment has built so much, it just comes out in bad ways that repel people from us instead of enrolling them and having them help. So what were we taught? What were the messages we received when we were little girls from our parents? So this conditioning doesn't go away. The conditioning that we got when I was little Jordin and you all were little kids growing up, the conditioning doesn't go away. It's why we eat the toast crust, why we say yes to baking the cookies for the bake sale, why we make our husbands' lunches, why we do the laundry for everyone in the house. Let me ask you this. Do you need a vulva to make lunches? Do we need a vulva to do all of the housework? Ladies, tell me something that you have done in the last 24 hours for your man that you didn't need a vulva to do. Have a baby? All right, I got that. That one's on us. We will own that one, and we will own the shit out of it and do it so good. So good. But, does a grown-ass man, can he make his own lunch? Or do you need a vulva to do it? And if we really stop and make a list of how we spend our time, it is being being in service of others. because that's how we were rewarded. That's how we were taught that we got love. We were deserving of love. How do you handle it when someone interrupts something important you're doing? Do you ignore it? Do you tell them to go somewhere else for help? Do you stop what you're doing and help them? You probably drop everything and handle it because that's what you've been taught to do. That's how we've been conditioned. But the making of lunches, all of these things, the helping, like if you're doing something, maybe you finally sat down with a tea and a good book and you are so excited to just relax, and then it's, Mom. But all of this good girl conditioning is at the expense of our happiness, joy, and pleasure. Signs this conditioning is getting in the way of us having our desires. You have difficulty making decisions, especially when they're going to affect other people. Who has difficulty picking a restaurant, picking a movie? Who just can't do it when it's for your family? Like if your decision is going to affect other people, you have a hard time making it. That's good girl conditioning. And you can fly off the handle because think about this. If energy is supposed to flow, like it flows through a hose, but we clamp it, and the pressure builds and it builds and it builds and it builds, and then at some point the hose is going to blow or it's going to come unclamped and there's going to be an explosion of some kind or another. So by denying ourselves this, by being conditioned this way, that's why. We worry about keeping everyone else happy. Who ends up doing this? Like you're just so worried about making everyone else happy, but actually in the end, you're annoying the people that you're trying to please. Who asks for clarification on tasks and projects rather than just going for it because you want to do it right or perfect? And everyone is just so used to you doing everything, they take you for granted. This could be in the workplace. This could be at home. Okay, so let's just talk about the invisible workload of being a mom, of being a woman. I alluded to this before, but I want to really hit it home. So this is the extra work that we do because we feel like we are supposed to do it. We should. It's our job. It's our duty. Let's think about this logically. It's being the project manager of our household with zero recognition, zero pay. We don't get recognized for the time, the mental energy, the planning, the organizing. So to everyone else, it's invisible because this shit just gets done. Do our partners know who the vet is, who our children's teachers are, where their orthodontist is? No. What about, does your manager or superior at work see all of the things that you do without help and support? So maybe, for example, your husband might take the grocery list to the grocery store and pick the items up on it, but who wrote the list, who planned the meals, who researched the recipes that were going to fit the dietary restrictions for your family, or planned for having friends or his family over for dinner, who went through the fridge to figure out what you actually needed? There's a reason why large companies and big jobs, big projects have a project manager. It's a role because these things take work. Someone needs to tee all of this stuff up. It doesn't just happen. And we do it invisibly, we do it thanklessly, we do it without money, and oftentimes without recognition. How many people's fridges would be empty, their laundry rooms would be overflowing if they stopped? Like if you yourself stopped doing things What would fall apart? What do you fear would fall apart in your home, in your workplace, if you stopped? Would there be no toilet paper? What about shampoo? Like, how organized would your house be if you stopped organizing it? Let's move to, how does being a good girl impact pleasure? When we sit and think about all of the extra work that we take on because it's our duty and we have to, and we are so overworked and so overwhelmed, we're in our stress response 9-10 hours a day because we're doing for others. Of course we're tired. Of course we're stressed. Of course we're anxious. Of course we're crusty. And then at the end of the day, our partners are like, babe, come here. No. We don't have anything left in the tank for sex that feels like a chore or another to do. So this is a whole other piece, a whole other layer that stagnates that romantic, that sexual tension in a relationship. And what do we think our husbands would say or do in these cases? What would they do if we just stopped doing these things? Our kids, our husbands, our partners, if we stopped doing these things. So these dynamics in and of themselves, we keep doing them even though we're crusty, we're bitchy, we're stressed, we're anxious, we're gaining weight because of the stress hormone. We keep doing these things because it's easier to keep doing them than to ask for help when we have not put pleasure first, when we have not dealt with our good girl conditioning. Because when we go to our partners and we go to our children from the crusty place, from the resentment, with these big brick walls up, and we ask for their help, they don't want to do it. No one wants to help you when you're in this resentful state. So we're literally stuck. We're stuck carrying the weight of this all. And then we're also stuck thinking, hey, something's wrong with me that I don't want sex. So then we get blamed for that too when there's all these issues going on for us. So I would love for you all to see what a big issue this is to unpack. That we're doing a lot. And if in a given day you had somebody do all those things for you, and then you had this extra time to do things for yourself and practice pleasure, then how would that dynamic change, right? Like we're stuck. We're just stuck in doing mode. We're doing for everyone and everything, and we don't know how to ask for help or do things for ourselves because we haven't been taught. We haven't been shown how. So it is a lot. It is overwhelming. Maybe for some of you, this is the first time this concept is even hitting home. So I'm a recovering good girl. I'm not saying recovered. I'm saying recovering because this is work. This is a process. We cannot pour from an empty cup. We can't go anywhere without any gas in the tank. We need to put on our masks first. So this is a fun little system that the patriarchy has created for us, where we just dutifully do all the work and don't ask for pay and don't ask for help and don't ask for praise. And if we stopped, no one would even know what needed to be done because we were just stuck doing it. So if you need help firing yourself as project manager and you want to know what the next steps are, join us with Pleasure Principles. Have a great week, everybody.
If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.